Hey everybody, Coach Zach Howe here with the Indiana National Guard, Indiana Tactical Athlete. Today we're going to be going over a hinge pattern. Okay, this pattern is very essential for performing deadlifts. It can be kind of tricky trying to figure out how to do this, with anything other than a barbell, but there are ways you can do it. Okay, so we'll first have to start just with the basic stance and what a hinge pattern is. So a hinge pattern is your movement is at your hips, okay? So whenever we do this, we're going to be moving our hips back and forth. We're not going to be bending over at our waist. We're not going to be squatting, okay? The purpose of a hinge pattern is we're really targeting right here our hamstrings and our glutes, okay? So with that being said, what you'll do is you'll get your feet about hip width apart, no wider than shoulder width. I typically tell people hip width apart. There's a little bit more power there. Your feet pointing straight ahead, hips straight ahead, okay? Because we want to be in a good straight line. We don't want to have your feet out like this. Don't want to have them turn in like this, okay? So from here, what you're going to do, once you get your feet set, okay, we're standing up nice and tall. We're in a good posture, right? We're not rolling forward and we're not overextended. Good tall posture. You're just going to unlock your knees. So only slightly, okay? Not bending like this right here. Don't keep your legs straight. Slightly unlock your knees, okay? And then from here, since I'm standing up tall, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to push my hips backward. So I can put my hands to the side. I'm just letting my hands slide straight down my legs, okay? And then back up. If that helps, you can slide them down the sides of your legs. You can slide them down the fronts of your legs. But notice, my posture is staying the same, okay? I'm not straining through my eyes. I'm really only looking out at like a 45-degree angle and back up. The purpose of this is that we're not using our back. If we start to do this, that means that we're utilizing our back too much, okay? A couple of easy ways to make sure that you're doing this right at home is if you have a broomstick, okay? Broomstick's really easy. You just put it behind your back like so. Make sure it's touching the back of your head, between your shoulder blades and the tops of the backs of your hips, your glutes, your butt, whatever, okay? Make sure that you keep those 3 points of contact. You can hold on to it like this right here. Hold on to it like that. From here, we're gonna do the same thing. Feet hip width apart, slight bend in our knees. We're nice upright posture. From here, I'm gonna try to push my hips back and make sure that this dowel rod, this broom handle, it doesn't come off the back of my head, doesn't come off between my shoulder blades, and doesn't come off the top of my butt. So I'm going to really push my butt back into it, maintaining all 3 points of contact until I feel the stretch of my hamstrings, and then I'm coming right back up. And I'm just gonna do the exact same thing, okay? If I go down and it comes off my head for some reason, okay, that means that I'm just looking down to get my head back in contact with the dowel rod. If I go down and I'm going, oh, I'm good, and all of a sudden it comes off my lower back like this, that means I'm starting to bend at the waist. That means I really need to straighten it back up and continue to push my butt back into this dowel rod, okay? Remember, as soon as it comes off like this, you're bending over at the waist. So you can do multiple reps like that. If this is something you haven't done before, take it nice and slow down, hold it for a second, feel that stretch, and then pop up. Trust me, you'll start to get that feeling in there, okay? It'll be good. After that, let's say that you don't have a broom handle that can just unscrew. Most of them do. But if you don't, you can use a wall. Do the exact same thing, okay? You're gonna be right here. I'm about a boot's length away from the wall, okay? Feet are hip width apart, knees at a slight bend, okay? Stand up nice and tall. Pushing my hips back until I touch the wall. Oh, I touched the wall. That was pretty easy. I didn't feel this pull in my hamstring. I'm gonna move forward a little bit more. Slight bend in the knees, good posture, hips back, okay? That time I kind of rocked back into it a little bit. Notice I can wiggle my toes. My weight shifted mainly from my midfoot closer towards my heel, okay? You can even go a little bit farther. Same thing. As you go back, you might wind up falling into the wall. That's fine, okay? The big point is keeping that good upright posture and making sure your hips go back. It's almost like someone grabs you by the hips and is trying to forcefully pull your hips back, whether with a rope or like they've tied you to a car, okay? And they're trying to pull you backwards and you're not letting them, you're resisting them. Don't bend at the waist, don't round that back. back straight, hips back, okay? Some easy ways you can do this at home. If you need to implement some more weight, those right there with the dowel rod and against the wall are great ways just to get into the movement, okay? If you really want to do this at home, you can do what we call Romanian deadlifts, okay? Romanian deadlifts are simply get an implement, okay? You can get a bucket of something, okay? If you have a 5-gallon bucket laying around, fill it up with dirt, fill it up with rocks, okay? Make it pretty heavy, and you can simply do the exact same pattern once you get it down. My feet are hip width apart, okay? I'm standing up nice and tall posture. I got this situated right in front of me. Slight bend in my knees, okay? And from here, I'm gonna push my hips back, let this thing go until I feel a stretch, or I touch the ground with it, and then I'm gonna pop back up, okay? If I really wanna make this hard, what I'll do is I'll count down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold 1, 2, and then I'll spring back up, okay? You can do that. You can slow it down on the down portion, hold at the bottom, and then spring back up. The big thing is, every time that you come up, you want to come up as fast and as forceful as you possibly can, okay, to get all that extension, okay? We really want to work on power for this because it's useful for a deadlift, it's useful for a medicine ball throw if we're doing the ACFT, right? We want to produce power, so we want to do this as quick as possible. Another easy way to like perform a deadlift, if you will, another type of hinge, obviously a deadlift, you'll do the exact same thing. You can get these implements. I got a couple of buckets right here. I'm gonna put them on each side of me. I'm gonna put my feet right in the middle between them. My feet are hip width apart again. I've got that good posture. Okay, I'm just gonna do that RDL. Once I get here, I'm going to bend down. Okay, these things are a little bit high. If I want to make it to where I can actually like bend down even further, I can stand on something. Okay, you can get a box or something like that. But right here, I'm just gonna do a deadlift. This looks like the trap bar deadlift from here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to break the floor. Okay, I'm going to push the floor away from my body, and I'm going to just reverse the movement that I did. Okay, push up and then bring my hips through. Okay, again, as powerful as I can. Same thing here. Soft knees, hips back, sit it down. As soon as they touch, come back up, okay? You can do a deadlift that way. You can, if you have a barbell or a kettlebell at home, you can do them with those, okay? Another easy way to do a hinge pattern is if you just do a standing broad jump. It's the same thing, okay? My feet are hip width apart. I got a soft knee, I'm good upright posture. I'm just going to load myself by doing one of those RDLs that we just did. And then I'm just going to explode forward. I'm not going to jump so far that I can't catch myself. Just as important as jumping is the landing. Be safe when you do this. Okay, if you can't handle your own body weight whenever you land, you shouldn't be jumping. If you are jumping too far and landing with your feet out in front of you, they're going to slip out from underneath you. Jump to where you can still land properly. So I'll be right here. I'll do that same movement. Jump and try to stick the landing. Okay? It's very simple. This is an easy way to produce power. This is an easy way to prepare for the medicine ball throw. Okay? Jump. Make sure you stick the landing, fix yourself, and do another one. Okay?